Let me start off with a question. If you went away from your school for 30 days, would it grow, stay the same, or slowly start to wobble? Be honest. Hey, my name is Josh Arsamont, and today we're going to be talking about building an org chart for your martial arts school. Most martial arts schools are not built on structure. They're built on personality. They're built on hustle. They're built on the owner being the glue that holds everything together. And that works for a while. But eventually what happens is this: you get busier, your student count increases, your staff grows, more parents, more programs, more moving parts. And suddenly the thing that used to feel simple starts feeling heavy. You start answering the same questions over and over. You start fixing the same problems over and over. You start thinking, why does nothing happen unless I'm directly involved? That's not a motivation problem. That's not a talent problem. That's a structure problem. And here's the truth: most small business owners never fix it. Not because they don't care, not because they never pause long enough to design the machine that runs the business. Today, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna build something most martial arts schools never build: a real organizational chart. Not something fancy, not corporate nonsense, but a clear, simple structure that defines who owns what, who reports to who, and what success looks like at every level. Because once structure improves, clarity improves. And once clarity improves, performance improves. So let's build it. An org chart is a picture of your business that answers three basic questions. Number one, what are the major roles in this business? Number two, who reports to who? Three, what is each role responsible for producing? Here's the most important concept for beginners. An org chart is roles first, names second. Because if you just write down names, you're not building a business. You're documenting the chaos you already have. We're going to build a clean structure first, then assign people to it later. Look at the model org chart. This one has 3 levels. Level 1, CEO. This is the owner box at the top. One box, big picture responsibility. Level 2, managers. In this model, we have 2 manager roles: head instructor, program director. Level 3, instructor, the pipeline. This is the teacher ladder: senior instructors, assistant instructors, HIT, leaders. So the model is simple: vision at the top, management in the middle, execution and leadership pipeline at the bottom. Now I'm going to show you how to design this from scratch. Step 1. Start with a blank page. Open Google Slides, Canva, PowerPoint, or even a piece of paper. If you want the cleanest results for a chart like this, I recommend Canva. I'll go ahead and provide you with a template. Step 2. Create the top box, CEO. Put a large box at the top and label it Chief Executive Officer. Now, under that title, you're going to write a short paragraph describing what the CEO owns. Keep it high level. CEO is not doing random tasks. CEO is responsible for vision, leadership, culture, systems, growth, and making sure the brand promise is delivered. Here's the filter: if it affects the entire business, it belongs in the CEO box. Pro tip for savvy owners: the CEO box should not read like "I do everything." It should read like "I make sure the right people own everything." Step 3. Create the middle layer, managers. Now we build the manager layer. In this model, we have 2 manager roles. The reason this works so well in a martial arts school is because it splits the business into 2 worlds. World 1, instruction and student experience. That's the head instructor. World 2, enrollment and operational accuracy. That's the program director. So create 2 boxes under the CEO box and label them head instructor, program director. Now here's the key: a manager is not just a good employee. A manager owns an outcome. They are accountable. So under each manager title, write a paragraph that answers: what do they oversee? What do they protect? What do they produce consistently? Head instructor owns teaching quality, curriculum execution, testing preparation, instructor development, and consistency across all classes. Program director owns lead conversion, enrollments, front desk systems, cancellations and delinquencies, auditing, operational accuracy, and professionalism in communication. Here's a pro tip for advanced owners. If two people share sales, nobody owns sales. If two people share teaching standards, the standards drift. Every major department needs one accountable owner. Step 4, build the bottom layer, the instructor pipeline. Now we build the instructor ladder. This is what makes the org chart powerful because it creates a developmental pipeline. You're not just hiring instructors, you're developing them. Create 3 boxes across the bottom: senior instructors, assistant instructors, HIT leaders. Then draw the reporting lines like this model. Senior instructors report to the head instructor because they are a part of the curriculum execution and maintaining standards. Assistant instructors connect into that pipeline. They support class delivery and develop skill. HIT and leaders are entry level. In our school, HIT stands for Hero Instructor Training. Leaders are more of the younger kids. They are learning to assist, building their confidence, and developing leadership skills. Now in each box, write 3 to 5 simple responsibilities. Here's the trick. Use language that describes behavior and standards, not vague qualities. Here's a bad example. Must be a hard worker. Here's a good example. Supports testing, events, camps, and models professionalism. Here's a pro tip for advanced owners. This pipeline is how you stop hoping staff improves. You create levels, explanations, and a path. Step 5, add titles on the left. Notice your model chart has a vertical category label on the left: CEO, managers, instructors. This is optional, but it makes the chart instantly understandable. It's basically telling the viewer this is the chain of command and the layers of the organization. Step 6, write the role descriptions the right way. Now let's talk about how to write the text inside each box. Here's the simplest method. For every role, write number 1, one sentence that starts with owns. 2, one sentence that starts with ensures. 3, one sentence that starts with oversees. That structure forces clarity. For example, owns the quality and consistency of all instruction. Ensures curriculum, testing, and teaching standards are executed. Oversees instructor development at every level. Now your chart becomes more than a picture. It becomes a leadership document. Step 7, the 2 tests, gap test and overlap test. Now we do 2 tests. Step 1, the gap test. Ask yourself, what roles exist on this chart that nobody currently owns? Those are your growth bottlenecks. Test 2, overlap test. Ask yourself, where are there 2 roles that are both responsible for the same thing? That creates confusion. Here's an example. If the head instructor and program director both own events, you need to clarify. Who owns planning? Who owns execution? Who owns staff assignments? Because unclear ownership always turns into, oh, I thought you were going to do that. Step 8, add names second. Only after the roles are clear, you can add names. You can do it in small text under the title, or keep it blank if you want it to be company structure chart, not a people chart. Here's a pro tip. If staff changes, roles stay. That's why roles come first. Step 9, how to use this org chart in real life. Here's how to make this chart actually work instead of being something you print and forget. Number 1, use it to set up meeting structure. CEO meets with the managers weekly. Managers meet with instructor teams weekly. 2, use it to create training ladders. HIT becomes assistant. Assistant becomes senior. Senior becomes management candidate. Number 3, use it to create accountability. If a problem happens, you don't ask, who wants to fix this? Instead, you ask, who owns this box? Number 4, use it to decide your next hire. Your next hire should remove the biggest bottleneck. If enrollments are weak, hire support under program director. If retention and quality are weak, hire support under head instructor. Now let me tell you something important. Most small business owners never do this. Not because they're lazy, not because they're incapable, but because when you're small, it feels unnecessary. You think, it's just me and a few instructors. We all know what we're supposed to do. But here's what actually happens. Without a clear org chart, ownership is blurry. Tasks fall through the cracks. The owner becomes the decision maker for everything. Standards drift because nobody is officially responsible for protecting them. Growth stalls because the structure can't handle more complexity. And the worst part, it feels normal. You think the chaos is just a part of owning a martial arts school. It's not. It's a structural issue. An org chart forces clarity. It forces accountability. It forces you to admit where you're overloaded and where your business has gaps. But guys, understand this clearly. This is just the beginning. An org chart is the blueprint. It's the skeleton. It shows you where the bones go, but bones alone don't create movement. The next level after this is creating positional agreements. That means taking each box on this chart and turning it into a document role with clear responsibilities, measurable outcomes, standards of performance, reporting structure, and a defined expectation. That's when your business really starts to mature. And after that, you'll build scorecards, meeting rhythms, you'll develop training systems around each role, but none of that works without this foundation. So if you've never done this before, don't overcomplicate it. Start simple. Build the chart, clarify ownership, and clean up the confusion. Because once structure improves, performance improves. And once performance improves, growth becomes sustainable, not stressful.